a long-lasting impact would actually be the work itself, because from my experience, you may have something very different, though I doubt it. The military, be it Navy, Army or Air Force, has particular ways of doing things, and you learn how to do those things, and those methods suddenly, or not suddenly, they slowly sink into your psyche, and without even realising it, in one way, it's almost a form of brainwashing. You take that into your private life anyway, so that, as an example, a really simple example would be if we were here having a meal, and you go, yeah, I've had enough, I feel so I want to go to bed. You know, take the dishes out of the sink and say, I'll do those tomorrow, and go into the bedroom and crash. Well, and my wife's a good example of that. Whereas I will not necessarily do the dishes, but I'll make sure that the table's cleared up and it's ready for breakfast the following morning. So it's like working in a restaurant. They don't suddenly go home at night after it's all finished. They set up for the next meal. Well, that's the sort of thing that you get used to. So, office environment, working away, finish up work for the day. I don't just pack up the bongos and go home. Finish the work for the day and then sort out what I'm going to do for the first bit of the following day. The same sort of thing happens at home. You get the boots ready, or your shoes ready, or in your case, your school uniform ready for the following day, not just leave it in the wardrobe. So that sort of thing is just, it creeps into your everyday life. What else have I learned? I've learned personnel management, people management, administration. Unfortunately, sometimes that comes and bites you very much on the backside, because you end up doing jobs like secretary of the local RSL. Instead of going out and enjoying yourself, there you are typing up the minutes to yesterday's meeting. I enjoy doing that sort of thing to an extent. Unfortunately, doing minutes of meetings is not a great fun thing to do. I'm sure there are other things that I could think of, but I'll pass on the rest of them and go to you.
Mine would be the last day when I was in the Middle East, coming home, and once we got presented with everyone's service medals, and the first thing in my mind was, did we make a difference in that part of the world? It took me a long time to answer that question. I know that everyone played a part, whether big or small, in shaping, particularly Afghanistan. Everyone knows what happened to Afghanistan in the end. So I could say that from my task group point of view, we temporarily made it a better place, just temporarily, even though it did cost my mental health in the long run. But apart from that, on the positive side of things, I learned a lot about personnel management, how to do my paperwork better, and made a lot of good long-lasting friends, which most live in Brisbane these days. And and there's some habits I learned in the army that still stuck with me. So like some of my routines, like how I organise stuff, that's still there.